To start with, you need a 7.5 inch by 12 inch piece of cardstock, and I've scored it already at 2.5, 5, and 10.5 inches. So I'm going to take my bone folder and go ahead and crease it on those score lines. And now you want to add 2 rows of sticky strip on this last panel that's just 1.5 inches wide. The second part to my box is a piece of cardstock that is 7.5 inches by 8 inches. And with the 8-inch piece going across the top, you want to score it again at 2.5 inches. And crease that. Now you move the red liner, and you want to adhere them together like this. So the 1.5 inch piece is going to adhere to this 2.5 inch piece. And you can line them up along the edge. And go ahead and stick them down. And that's the basic shape of our box. The next thing that we're going to do is work on the side pieces. And for these you need 2 pieces that are cut to 5.25 by 6 inches. And with the 6 inches going across the top, you want to score it every 1/2 inch all the way across to the end. And once you're done scoring that, you're going to accordion fold it back and forth. Then you can use your bone folder to try to make those nice and crisp. The next step is to punch holes in this, and it's really helpful if you have a crocodile to use. So I'm going to divide this in half and use about 3 of these and punch 3 of them at a time. And you want to use the 1/8 inch side, the smaller side, and insert this in and punch it. And you try to center it, and then I come in about 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to take this one so that I can see through it and line it up to punch the rest of them. And once you have that lined up, go ahead and punch. And you need to do the same over here to this other side. I've gone ahead and finished punching holes at both the top and the bottom on both pieces, and I've added sticky strip on the 2 outside pieces and stopped at the holes. And now the next step is to attach these to our box. So I'm going to fold this piece underneath, and then I'm going to center it between these 2 score lines. And I have it about 1/8 inch away from the edge of the box. Press that down. And then I found the easiest way to adhere them to the front of the box is to actually turn this project upside down. Again, fold this under. Don't know if you can see that. Let's set it down like that. Again, about 1/8 inch, and just press that down. And do the same to the other side. And now comes the part that's a little bit tricky. Again, take your crocodile and make sure you're using that 1/8 inch side. And what you need to do is we need to punch holes through the front and the back of the box. So you can push these accordion folds in, line up your crocodile, and punch the hole. And you're going to go around and do that on all 8 spots. I finished punching my holes, and I added a little piece of sticky strip coming in at an angle from all 4 holes on the front and on the back of the box. Next, we're going to be threading in our hemp twine, and I have 4 pieces of this that are 6 inches long. And it's best if you start with the bottom of your box. So an easy way to do this is to kind of gather up a couple of folds, probably about 3 of them, squeeze them together, and stick your hemp twine in through the hole and up through those 3. And then you're going to turn it over And you're going to squeeze the bottom three together and stick your hemp twine through there and then let go so you have a piece on either side. Now the top is the easiest part because you can just squeeze this entire box together at the top. Stick it straight through, make sure you have equal amount on both sides, and let go. So you're going to go ahead and do that to both sides. Now that I have all four pieces of my hemp twine through the holes, I'm going to peel off this first piece of sticky strip, and again you want to start with the bottom, and I'm just going to lay my hemp twine into it and kind of press it down. And then I'm going to take the back and I'm going to kind of pull it until this is like that, nice and lined up. Peel the red sticky strip off the back. And once I have it where I like it, you don't want to pull it too tight. Once I have it where I want it, I'm going to stick this into this piece of sticky strip. Now we're going to do the top. I'm going to pull a little bit. Lay it in the sticky strip. And then you can pull it to how tight you want. Try to make sure the top width is about the same width as the bottom. And adhere it. And do that to the other side. Okay, now that I've adhered all four pieces of my hemp twine down on the front and back, I went ahead and added a piece of Scotch tape over the top of the hemp twine just to keep it in place and just to make sure it will stay there. Here's my box decorated. In order to adhere this over top of the pieces of hemp twine in the corners, I adhered both the front and the back on with dimensionals around the border, but I did not put them in the corners just so that I wouldn't be putting a dimensional on top of the hemp twine. Now the way we're going to close our box is with Velcro dots. The best way to do it is to stick them together and peel off the back of one of them. And I'm going to go ahead and center this on the lid. And then peel this off. And then when you close the box and have your lid centered, and press it down, that will put your Velcro dot right where it needs to be. The last thing I want to add to my box is a handle. And for that, I'm going to add some jumbo eyelets. And I'm going to use my crocodile again, but this time I'm going to use the large side. And so I'm going to take my lid and I'm going to put this in as far as it will go. Make sure it's centered left to right, and punch my hole. And do the same thing on the other side of the box. Now if you have a difficult time trying to get your eyelets into the holes, I know sometimes I do, what I do is I take my punch, put it back in there, and I again punch a hole just slightly off center just to make it a tiny bit bigger. And then the eyelets go in there a lot easier. Now for the crocodile, you want to make sure your settings are on A and 1, and you want to put this part, the little nub on it, down into the top of the eyelet, and gently squeeze. And I have a piece here of wide red grosgrain ribbon, and I have it cut to about 16 inches. I'm going to thread it through both of the holes, tie a simple knot. Pull the excess back. That's it. And there's your little card organizer with a handle.